You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.
You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio with Coyote and Lane.
Welcome to Cajun Sports Radio, September 1st, 2013 edition. Special week. It was the first weekend of college football, and in fact, it's still going on as we speak, to be certain. And we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. LSU, unbelievable showing in my opinion against TCU. A lot of crazy, exciting things went down week one in college football. Crazy things. Even Manziel doing something you would have never thought he did. We're going to preview also week one of the NFL, which kicks off Thursday night. I'm going to let everybody know we are sponsored by Direct TV. Join Direct TV and get the first year of the NFL Sunday Ticket free and also $100 off with the first year by letting us know at CajunSportsRadio.com or Facebook.com/CajunSportsRadio. This is a 2-hour edition, like we did last Sunday, to get everybody the first couple of weeks of football. So we wanted to make sure we gave y'all plenty of stuff to get y'all ready for that. Now, also, if you want to comment for the live listeners, not the people listening on podcast, if you want to put your comments on air, you can do so at either CajunSportsRadio.com or Facebook.com/CajunSportsRadio. You could also text 318-451-0842 or 318-613-0182. We also have the chat box at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Now that we paid a few bills, Dad, I'm going to do that. I'll bring in Dad. Coyote.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Welcome to Cajun Sports Radio. Doing good, Lane. Big old Sunday seems weird. Sunday, we got that Labor Day tomorrow. Off tomorrow, we got so much going on. Man, what some just football day yesterday. What I bet you were happy, Lane.
I loved it. It started Thursday night.
Yeah.
Thursday night it started with Vandy and Ole Miss, which we'll talk about coming up later on the air. But Dad, let's not sugarcoat it. Most of the people who listen to this, and this is for the people who are listening live or on podcast, which is the replay, everybody wants to talk LSU, TCU. Dad, right off the bat, what did you think?
Good game, Lane. Real good game. It was exciting. It was nice to see. At first, I got kind of nervous there. At first, it was like 6-0, but it should have been 14. It was just LSU just couldn't get going at first. It was scary. I was like, come on. But we got to see Mettenberger throw the ball. It's something that's so exciting that we never got to see. Good expectations there, Lane. I guess Cam Cameron really hitting that whip.
Well, Cam ran everything from the booth. He was in the booth, which he did in the NFL as well. And, I mean, look at this key stat right here, which we're going to talk about all the stats in this game. But I thought the key stat was time of possession. Guys, TCU, 24 minutes. LSU, 36 minutes. Yeah, time of possession, that's huge. That's 14 minutes?
Yeah, 14 minutes. Yeah.
Or 12.
12, almost 13. But anyway, that is huge. It's
hot in there.
it's going to be exciting. Like, but I keep on saying like TCU wasn't really. We didn't play no ball. Now, let me tell you something.
You said that.
Yeah. Well, after I looked at the stats more and more, TCU is. But then again, they got a lot more improvement too. Like I said, it's good and all, but we got a lot more. I won't even get into that. We will later. In the red zone and all that. But for the first game, they looked good, better than what I thought they were going to do.
Yeah. I will say this. Dad, you talked about the first half. First quarter, it was field goal time. We got to see the new kicker, De La Jose, the freshman kicker, or the first-year kicker. I don't know exactly if he's a freshman or not.
The first half wasn't good at all.
And I wouldn't say that. We moved the ball down the field. We played a good defense. We'd get in the red zone.
Then that was it.
We had problems. One time there should have been pass interference called. I will say that. Another time we had some drops. Beckham dropped it, but he made up for it later in the game. Alfred Blue.
Well, man, that's the one everybody couldn't wait. He's coming off that big injury last year. They say he's going to bust it wide open. What happened?
Well, you look at his stats. His stats prove well. I mean, hell, he had 89 yards, 4.7 yards per carry. But the main thing was the bad plays he had, like the slipping in the backfield, the fumble that he had, and
Lane, he is 100%, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will say this: a lot of the times when he struggled, the defense was in the backfield. But I think the star running back, Terrence McGee, who came out and made a name for himself. Guys, he had 2 touchdowns. He had 95 yards. He averaged 7.3 yards a pop. I'd say the other standout was Jarvis Landry. He came out.
Yep.
Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham had 5 catches for 118 yards, but I think, like I said, the start, Jarvis, 8 catches for 109 yards and a touchdown.
I was impressed with the defense. I'll get off the offense real quick. That's a young defense, y'all, we had out there last night. They shocked me, Lane. The defense, to me, really, really played good. Our front line, they got some beef, man.
Which they switched quarterbacks. They were going with Paul Hall in the first half.
They said they were going to run the 2 quarterbacks.
But then they went with the Boykin guy in the second half, and it kind of threw the defense off. And we did give up a punt return touch. No, it was a kickoff touchdown.
100 yards.
Yeah, we should. In fact,
100. Well, then it was 10-7. Remember, we had them. And then they ended up going 100 yards.
100-yard kickoff return. Jaden Overton. Yeah, good job by Dad. But yeah, I mean, when you look at breaking this game down, some people might say, is LSU going to have a lot of problems when they come towards SEC opponents? Yes, it's going to be tougher. But the thing is, I want people to understand, as we played a really good defense last night, TCU is not a pushover when it comes to defense. That's what I wanted to see. Mettenberger, let's get on him. I know that's what everybody wants to talk about. He looked completely poised last night. He looked calm. He looked relaxed. He was managing himself in the pocket. He was making smart decisions. The play calling was great. He looked comfortable. That was the main thing. He looked so comfortable.
And I got to give him this, y'all. The first quarter in the end zone, he threw it right. It was a drop. It was a drop. You couldn't ask for more.
I think it was Beckham, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on the money. It was not him. And that was like a 14, 15 yard pass, and it just come out of his hand. Now that you can't. And I like the way Mettenberger did that. He clapped, whatever, it was a 3rd down, and he went talk. He said, "Come on." I just like the way he was. He just looked like a different quarterback from last year. I know y'all. I'm not jumping to come on here. We got some tough opponents this year, but I think Cam Cameron. How can I say that, Lane? Stepped up to his expectations.
I think he did that and plus. That was the main thing that we wanted to see. I think I will say this right now. That could have not been a better opponent for LSU to start off against.
It was perfect.
It could have not worked out better. A good defensive team, not the best offense in the world, but a solid offensive team. It was perfect, neutral location. That way it kind of gives Zach some work on kind of a road situation. And I will say this. After watching, which we're going to get into A&M, Alabama, and the rest of the West teams, I think that LSU easily has the team that A&M has. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And I will say that I think, I'm not going too far with it. No, I'm going to stop at that. But I will say this. When it comes to these Week 1 games, guys.
They were nervous, Lane. Think about it.
When it comes to these Week 1 games. When it comes to these Week 1 games, it's kind of smoke and mirror sometimes. And for LSU to come out offensively and look like that in Week 1 was impressive to me.
You know what else I didn't know, Lane? I was listening to the pregame on the radio yesterday. And they had Miles was talking, and they were talking about, we have a young team and this and that. And then they jumped the stadium. They redoing it. They put new windows and, all this, always promoting. But I didn't know this. The reason why, too, LSU does this for neutral location is they don't have to pay them.
Yeah.
They don't
both
have to.
Teams.
Yeah,
it works for both teams.
They don't have to pay
They get
TCU.
paid.
That's right.
Jerry Jones paid both teams.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how it works. They're invited to play in that game.
Yeah, exactly. So, in other words, if TCU would have come to LSU, we would have to pay them. Because it's a, But anyway, it just the way it worked. Boy, they say Lane every motel. As far as LSU fans, you've seen the fans.
Well, Friday, I was on the I-49, which those of you who are familiar with Central Louisiana, on the way to Natchitoches, that's the way to go to Dallas. And all I would see is people with LSU flags crossing. And
some left on a Wednesday. Like that tomorrow. They don't worry about going to work or nothing like that. You talk to some people, we leaving Wednesday.
We're not going to come back till next Wednesday.
Yeah, come back Monday.
This is Cajun Sports Radio. We are broadcasted every week on CajunSportsRadio.com. You can text the show two ways, 318-451-0842, 318-613-0182, or Facebook.com/Cajun Sports Radio. But all in all, expectations-wise, I'm not going to lie to you. Coming in, the point spread was 4. That was the point spread. And for LSU to win the game, because LSU's a point spread disaster every year when it comes to the spread. For them to cover the spread by double and some, I think showed that they did their part in that game. They put up 37 points.
Should have been more.
Yeah, they should have beat them by more points.
It should have been 14-0 before we turned around. It was 6.
Yeah.
That was 2 touchdowns that we got in the red zone that we just couldn't do nothing about. We needed a lot of work in the red zone. Again, I think they were nervous. They still got a lot of work to do because, we got a hell of a tough season this year.
Oh, yeah. Got a lot of tough SEC opponents, as we got to see over the weekend. Let's go ahead and do the stat pack presented by Direct TV. Join Direct TV, get the Sunday ticket free the first year, as well as $100 off the first year by letting us know at CajunSportsRadio.com or Facebook.com/Cajun Sports Radio. Guys, let's start it off. First downs. TCU 13, LSU 26. Guys,
wow.
That's double. How many times have you seen LSU in the past couple of years? I don't care who they're playing. Double their opponent in first downs.
No, not much.
Third down efficiency. TCU 7 for 13, not bad. LSU 13 for 19. That is awesome.
See, that's the difference.
That's awesome.
That's the difference right there.
Total yards. TCU 259, LSU 448. And here's the big thing. This is what we all wanted to see. Passing yards. TCU 145, LSU 251.
Well, that's where the difference comes in right there.
Yards per pass. TCU, this is a big stat. TCU 5.2, LSU 7.8. Mm-hmm. Rushing, TCU 114, LSU 197. We used to that.
Yeah.
Penalties. TCU 9 for 55, LSU 7 for 42. Turnovers, TCU 2, LSU only 1, and the one turnover was the Alfred Blue fumble. And like I said earlier, guys, the biggest stat of the night, I think, was this. Time of possession, TCU 24 minutes, LSU 36.
That was huge.
That's huge.
That, y'all, we stayed on the field, and that makes a big difference.
You can
get so, man.
You can control the clock, and
Yeah.
the reason why I think that stat is so big is because it's been like in future years, LSU has had so many 3-and-outs and just struggled to do anything offensively. They just looked consistent. Are Dad and I ready to say that this team's going to be in the national championship? No. But we're saying that we're seeing improvement. We've seen a lot of improvement on the offense right now. Can you, right now, right off the bat, say that you know 100% that this offense is going to be better than it was last year?
Oh, yeah.
I can. That says a lot.
It better. I don't want to sound like old broken record, but it better. We paying the offense, Cam Cameron, we paying Les Miles big money. God dang it. It's like
Results
we better. Well,
results do need to be made.
It's up to the point now where you got to be this good. If you're going to compete, you got to have the best coach, and you're going to pay him. Now, but anyway.
I'll tell you what we're going to do, guys. We're at the beginning of hour number 2, we're going to talk LSU again for the guys who didn't get to listen. We're going to bring back some of this stuff up. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take our first commercial break. We're going to do that, and then we're going to come back and talk about everything that happened in week 1 of college football. We had a lot of exciting things as far as, things like Ole Miss, Vandy, starting the year off. Thursday night, we had North Carolina, South Carolina. We had all kinds of things. Johnny Manziel. How about Clemson, Georgia? Was that not a good game? We got some things to talk about there. Teddy Bridgewater and Louisville today looking really good. They're supposed to be a hot commodity. All that and more coming up after the break. Once again, we are presented by JustBikeATV.com and DirecTV. Join DirecTV and get the first year of the Sunday ticket free and get $100 off of your first year by letting us know at CajunSportsRadio.com. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio with Coyote and Lane.
Smell the gumbo? You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.
Hey, it's Lane from Cajun Sports Radio, and right now we have to talk about Best Bike ATV. This is something that you need to know about. Best Bike ATV is a full-service mechanic shop, locally owned and operated, specializing in the repairing of most ATVs, dirt bikes, and motorcycles. They sell a full line of aftermarket as well as factory parts and accessories. They have a factory-certified mechanic on duty at all times. They are an authorized high lifter, Gorilla, STI, and ITP dealer. They are located on Highway 1 in Echo, Louisiana, about 7 miles north of Marksville. Their operating hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit their website at www.bestbikeatv. Contact them at 318-597-9022. Once again, www.bestbikeatv.com. 318-597-9022. You're going to want to check them out. You will be very impressed. Tell them that Lane from Cajun Sports Radio sent you. Thank you.
Now maybe I didn't mean to treat you bad, yeah, but I did anyway. And then maybe
Smell the gumbo. You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.
so maybe your friends will stand.
You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio with Coyote and Lane.
As you fall to the ground, and then someday your friends will stand beside as you are flying. Oh, you were flying oh so high, but then someday people look at
Welcome back to Cajun Sports Radio with Lane and Coyote.
Dad giving us a welcome in. We're going to start doing that. In fact, talk to Dad about it. He might start doing a little hosting as well. We both will take turns driving the bus coming up during this season. The way I can do a little analyzing and he can work on some of his hosting techniques. How you know you never done it? Well, let's get into some action, as we like to say. Guys, it's been fully loaded since Thursday night, and we've had some upsets. I mean, like a FCS school taking down Kansas State the other night. Thank you. South Dakota. We'll get into that, but let's start off North Carolina, South Carolina. A lot of people, this one kind of got delayed because of lightning. South Carolina takes care of it 27-10, Dad, but a lot of people were disappointed on the way future people are calling him a Heisman hopeful, Jadeveon Clowney, played in this one. But come to find out, he had a stomach virus. I know that a lot of people thought that he didn't bring a lot of energy. Everybody remembers Clowney. Remember he had that big hit.
Yeah.
They're saying he's the next LT. They're saying that's how good of a defensive player he is. He's going to be the next Lawrence Taylor. I know, like, it was the first game of the season, national televised. He just came off of a stomach virus.
That means a lot, you.
I mean, can you...
A stomach virus.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'm surprised they even played him.
I thought the same thing. But
You
then
know?
Spurrier kind of threw him underneath the bus on his press conference, and I don't know. I think South Carolina, well, they play Georgia, I think next week or the week after. That's going to be huge. Yeah. That's going to be a huge game. But,
Lane, is it just me? I've been a Steve Spurrier. I just love watching him. He's a good coach, and he's fun. He gets mad, but the last couple of years, is it just me, or it looked like he just...
That is next week.
That he's just out of gas? Yeah, or is it just me? Like, he don't get into it like he used to. Is it like he's done?
He came into... I think he's always been like that. Because
it's like he didn't have no...
He said on the air one time on the Dan Patrick Show last year, one, I'm not made for the NFL. I don't like to spend hours in a... He's this type of coach. He's not the type of coach that's going to spend hours in a film room.
And in the NFL, you got to.
And college coaches, some of them do. And
he likes to play golf, too.
He loves to play golf.
Yep.
And he's not that grinder coach, but he is a solid coach. And let me tell you what he has.
Oh, I'm not putting him down, y'all. He's a real good coach.
Let me tell you what Spurrier has. He's the same way that Paterno was at the end. Spurrier doesn't have to coach hard. You know why? Because he has that name. Yeah. He has that Steve Spurrier name, which helps with recruiting. Yep. He's getting recruits. He's got good coaches around him. Like Paterno. Paterno was, 85?
Oh. Yeah,
Yeah, what was he doing? He was there for recruiting.
I never thought about that. I forgot about him.
He was there for recruiting, which he had a it kind of ended pretty sour for him.
You know they're making a movie right now, as we speak.
Al Pacino is supposed to play him, but
anyway, so Lane, so I know it's still in him and all. It's like, I don't know, it's like you just don't have that goal. But like you said, they know already what they expect from him.
Oh yeah, like I said, they surround him with good coaches because coaches want to work with him. Utah State, they had a fun finish Thursday night. Seen a lot of good players from Mr. Chucky there for Utah State. Man, guy gets nailed. I mean, Chucky Keaton, that's his name. After seeing, I'm going to make this quick because a lot of you don't know who I'm talking about. The Utah State quarterback, mobility, They had him in the backfield and he would find a way to get out and make plays. But something that I've noticed this week, before I talk about any of the other games, is everybody is running the hurry-up offense in college football.
Quick.
Everybody is trying to get to the line of scrimmage as quick as possible. Even LSU ran some of it. Last night, the game of Thursday night, Ole Miss Vanderbilt, everybody was talking about it Friday morning. They pulled a big rating on TV. It was late, too.
That was an exciting game.
Unbelievable. At one point, Vanderbilt's receiver, Matthews, gets nailed, starts throwing up on the field, vomiting. Wow. 2 plays later, catches a big 4th down. But then at the end of the game, a ball goes through his hands and gets interception. He was crying. Ole Miss, right off of the bat, that big recruiting class that they had is already showing that.
You think they're going to be better than Mississippi State?
After watching Mississippi State yesterday, that Ole Miss is going to be a good team. Mm-hmm. I will say this. Treadwell, he's their big-time freshman receiver. Unbelievable. And everybody wants to talk about, what's his name, that defensive player, Kandui or Kandishi. Him and his brother. In fact, he went to Ole Miss because his brother went to Ole Miss. He almost went to LSU.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. But he changed his mind
because of his brother.
Brother.
He showed instantly that he's an animal. Defensive lineman. And Vanderbilt they weren't a pushover. They play good ball. All I'm saying is, just realize what I'm saying. Ole Miss is a team on the rise. They're going to be a threat. Not next year. No, they're going to be a threat this year, right off the bat.
Mississippi State baseball and basketball are better than Ole Miss.
You talking about Ole Miss?
Yeah. Mississippi State got a better basketball and baseball. Look, the baseball, they went all the way.
Well, Ole Miss last year was pretty good in basketball.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Friday night, what did we have that was exciting Friday night? Oh, yeah, we had the big upset. North Dakota State, guys. They are an FCS team. What's that, Division II?
Yep.
They went into Kansas State. Kansas State, with Colin Klein last year, they were a team that almost made it to the national championship. Yeah. They got upset in their own house, 24-21.
Whoa.
Upset of the weekend.
That's like Northwestern and Natchitoches going to LSU, right?
Same thing.
Or Louisiana Tech?
Mm-mm.
No.
Louisiana Tech's Division I.
Oh, so that would be like Northwestern and Natchitoches going, oh, Lord.
That's a big upset.
Wow.
They were pissed off in Kansas State, I can tell you that.
I bet.
Texas Tech took down SMU. That was a big ESPN game. All right, now let's start with Saturday, the big day. Ohio State. Everybody wants to know, they're the number 2 team in the country.
They proved it.
They played Buffalo. They got the W 40-20, but I know Buffalo is not a bad football team. They're also not. My problem with Ohio State, they might go undefeated, but look at the schedule that they play. They gave up 20 points to Buffalo. Yeah. All I'm saying is I think LSU could definitely beat Ohio State. I have no doubt in my mind that they could. But yeah, Ohio State, I don't know. I'm still questioning about them. We had almost another upset with West Virginia. William and Mary, another FCS small school, almost went into West Virginia and beat them.
I see it, 17-24.
17-24. West Virginia barely gets out of there. That would have been a disaster. Florida and Toledo. Now, let me tell you something. Florida's another one of those teams. They played around with Toledo. They let Toledo hang around. It was 24-6.
Yeah, but Florida hit and miss. When they show up, you don't ever count Florida.
They're one of
ever
those.
count them out.
Jeff Driscoll's one of those quarterbacks that could come in one day and just shine and be
That's right.
just unbelievable.
That's right.
And like you said, you never know what they're going to do.
You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know.
You really don't. You don't.
Who is Toledo?
Toledo's a good team.
Oh,
Remember we talked about them last week? They're in the MAC and all that.
But they're not even,
Shit.
That's not that good. 24-6 again. They didn't play Toledo like a what? UL?
Yeah, like a UL.
That's not that great.
And Florida's supposed to be the number 10 team in the country. Oh, yeah. I wasn't really that impressed with any of the SEC teams. Ole Miss impressed me the most. But, moving on. I think Florida's going to have some question marks. That's going to be a big game between LSU and Florida coming up in the next.
Well, that's always a match.
That's always a
match.
That's always a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Louisiana Tech got manhandled by NC State. A lot of people are saying they're going to kind of fall off. Tech, 14-40. They had such a big letdown last year with all them seniors.
Oh, yeah.
Not accepting that bowl game to play UL Monroe.
They come off of a bad note the last game of the season when they didn't accept that Independence Bowl. I never could understand what happened there.
They thought that they were going to get a better bowl, but you don't ever decline a bowl.
You don't ever decline a bowl, and they did, and the bottom fell out. It shows you right here.
Now, what we all want to talk about. Well, he might as well just change his name to football. It's like Johnny Football.
Everybody just can't wait to watch him. It's unreal.
Well, they played Rice in A&M.
And he did sit the first half, y'all. He was suspended for the first half.
They asked the coach at half, are you bringing him in? And the coach was honest. Guys, Rice was beating them at one point. They struggled the first half. They asked Sumlin. Yeah, I'm bringing him in. He was honest. We're going to bring him in. Rice gets the ball right out of half. Interception. Manziel comes in jacked with a lot of energy, going crazy. As soon as he comes into the game, all he wanted to do was run. That's it. He was coming in with a lot of energy. Kind of settles down. He does throw 3 touchdowns. Like nothing. He went, but his back, the guy that played the first half, Jokel, he's the future, man. He looked good. 14 for 19, 190 yards.
That's good.
Yeah, their backup, Jokel.
That's good.
So if something does happen to Manziel, like he ends up in prison, which ain't unlikely, at least they got a backup. But he's not Manziel. Manziel did run the ball 6 times for 19 yards. With the story in this game was Manziel's, I want to say off the field, but he kind of brought the off the field stuff on the field. You would have never guessed. Okay, you would have thought that Manziel would be happy just to be playing, right? You didn't think that he would do anything crazy in the game, right? Wrong. Come to find out, the Rice players start taunting him. They start jawing back and forth, him and Johnny. And at one point, the Rice player asks him, Johnny, how much will it cost me? Something like this. Can I get your autograph for free? How much is it going to cost me to get your autograph?
They were taunting him.
Well, he throws a touchdown. He looks into the player's eyes and does the money sign. 2 fingers.
Money was funny.
Yeah, he does the money. Then he does something else and does the autograph sign. Like he's signing autographs. After all this going on,
I don't understand.
Nationally televised on ESPN, he does the autograph sign. Like he's signing an autograph. Then throws another one, does the money sign again. Then, towards the end of the game, starts jawing with the guy, does the autograph sign again, gets ejected from the game. As he's walking onto the sidelines, someone tries to talk to him and chews behind out, and he just keeps walking as someone's talking to him.
That's the part, Lane, that's the part where that's way out of hand. That's out of hand. When your coach is trying to tell you something, and he just blows them off.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's just disrespectful.
I bet he wouldn't do that with Nick Saban.
Exactly. So my question is,
he's out of hand.
We talked about this during the offseason. And I'm asking this again. Does Kevin Sumlin have a hand on Manziel?
No.
He can't handle him, can
None. He has none.
He has no hand. And, Sumlin's a good coach.
Yeah.
But he can't handle that.
I was listening a little bit to ESPN just now, and Lane was sitting right there by me, and I was shocked. They said somebody's going to go next year.
One of them's not going to make it.
One of them ain't going to make
Mark
it.
May. last night, Lou Holt said, he said, someone's better than me. He said, something like that would have happened in my day. I would have wanted to put my hands on him.
Old school like that?
He said, I would have wanted to put my hands on him.
No.
And the thing is, and like, I know I'm young. I know that. I know you have way more experience. That's why I like to come to you when for questions like this. But my thing is that how do you handle something like this with a kid with all this talent? We've been talking about this guy all offseason. He finally plays. We would have thought that he would have tried to keep it cool during the game. And bam, he pulls something like this to where it's always something with this guy.
It's the NCAA's fault, okay? It's the NCAA's fault, y'all. Number one, you don't give a Heisman to a freshman. Number two, his parents got so much money where he's spoiled, he can do what he wants to do. He is ruining his career. He don't see it now. Who was it I had heard called him and had a talk with him? Was it last week? It hit me after a while. Cam Newton. Okay. Cam Newton called him, and they had a talk. Shut it down, man.
Yeah, that's a good mentor.
Yeah, well, he sees now because you see he's
older. He's older now.
He's older.
Cam Newton's came a long way.
Yeah, he's older. He sees where he was at.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all, Johnny Manziel is a damn good quarterback. He's a damn
talent.
good football player. But you know what's going to happen? He ain't going to make it, y'all.
Well, nobody's going to want to work with him.
Ain't nobody going to want to work with him.
Nobody's going to want to work with the kid. What NFL franchise is going to want that on? You think players are going to want to deal with that?
No.
What I'm about to say is it's kind of explicit, so if you have kids, you might want to turn it down. What Manziel did, in my opinion, yesterday, that what he pulled, to me, what he was saying to not only A&M's fans, but all of college football was F you.
Yep.
You know what? You're not going to stop me.
You ain't going to stop me.
You're not going to stop me. I'm going to do what I want.
Man, it ain't. They building that program up too much. They got a beautiful stadium. It's getting old. This is getting old. You know, you have to listen to stuff like this with a professional player. This happens to a pro player because, you know, they get that big money and they roll it. But a college player? But guess what? His parents got money. So his daddy called it out.
Yeah,
someone help him.
Yeah, but
it's
see,
too late.
But my problem is his daddy goes to the media and tells him that if something doesn't happen, he's going to go to jail. Well, aren't you the parent? You know, aren't you?
Because they know it's too late, Lane. It's too late. He's out of control.
But, you know, go back to Manziel last year. He was a freshman.
He was so quiet.
You know why? They didn't let him talk to the media last year. That's a rule. When you're a freshman at A&M, you can't talk to the media. So we looked at him. We looked at him like a good kid. You didn't hear nothing out of him because Sumlin would not let him talk to the media. Well, A&M made a decision when they found out that he was going to be up for the Heisman after the last game. Okay, you can go to the media. And when the media hit him, it's been a circus.
You're right. I forgot.
Every time we think that there's no way it could be something else happens with this guy. Like, okay, it was one thing with the Manning camp. Then when all that blows over, we find out about the autograph. There's no doubt in your mind that he did it with the autographs.
Yeah, he did it. And the NCAA gave him a little slack, gave him a little suspension because there's so much money in football. They went ahead and just slapped the wrist or whatever. But what he pulled yesterday, I bet you the coach, how you think he feels?
Well,
how do you think? No, all jokes aside, how you think?
I'm glad you said that.
How you think this coach feels?
I think he feels like he's not the coach. I think he feels like at his point, like I'm so tired of this. I cannot coach my team with this. Look, you know what he
a monster.
Yep, that's exactly. Look, they asked him right after the game, the sideline report. He looked exhausted. They asked him. They said, and he flat told the media, and I liked how he said this. He was honest. He was like, and I know what he meant by that. He was like, he was uncalled for, and that's why I pulled him out of the game as soon as it happened. He did. He pulled him out.
Yeah, but they were leading too, though.
The game was almost over.
That make a big difference. Yeah.
Well, and he made a comment. He said, "You would think by now we would have learned from this." And you know what he meant by that? He meant you would have thought by now, Johnny. I I feel him. You would have thought by now Johnny would have done got it. You know, by now, all of the chances he's gotten. But that's the problem. Like you said, they keep giving him another chance. I mean...
Well, he's... And I hate to say this, I kind of feel sorry for the parents that's in the stands got to see his kid doing this. You don't think they're embarrassed?
You know they are.
Huh?
You know they are.
Yeah, they're embarrassed.
But I will say this. Quick question. Well, I'm going to ask you this before I say anything. Is Manziel going to make it through the whole season?
No.
Injury or he gets suspended somewhere?
Well, let me think good and hard. Number one thing, this running he's doing, they're going to stop that. That's all he wanted to do? No, they're going to stop
He got nailed one time. That's against Rice.
And y'all, I hate to talk bad about him. He's a good football player. I wish I could just tell him, look, dude, you got it in your hands.
I think
what
everybody's.
What are you doing?
You know,
what are you doing?
You don't think people have already told him that?
Yeah, but will he make the whole season? If he pulled Lane, you don't know what he's going to pull next.
That's just
The
it.
NCAA can't keep putting up with this.
But my thoughts are, okay, what's going to happen to this cat when he starts going into SEC cities? He didn't have to deal with this last week. They are going to crucify this guy in Death Valley in Baton Rouge. You imagine what the fans are going to do to this guy in Baton Rouge?
And that's what he wants.
He
wants that.
And if he starts that taunting in Baton Rouge,
that ain't going to...
Well, like they said last night, okay, you played Rice yesterday.
Yeah, who Rice? He used to. That's nothing.
And then they struggled with him. What happens when he pulls something like that when they need him? He can't pull that against Alabama.
It brings his own players down.
It does.
How you think that his own players feel? I know, y'all, we keep talking about this, but guess what? It's news and look. We keep talking about it, huh? That's what he wants.
We're talking
but
about
he
him.
won't make it. And again, y'all, he's such a good football player. But as far as Alabama, they got his number. So he better get ready for that one. Nick Saban will. They will put a whipping on him. It's going to be horrible.
And what happens when things don't go? It seems like every time things don't go his way,
that's what I'm scared of.
he blows up.
Yep.
And I could see Saban coming into the week of that game. I could see Saban telling Sumlin, look, I know this game's in A&M, but keep this guy on, you know. Yeah. And I asked you this question earlier. Does this happen if Nick Saban's his coach?
It would never happen.
Because he wouldn't have been on the field.
No, he wouldn't have been. That's one thing about Nick Saban. He's very disciplined. And I got to give it to that. Jeremy Hill didn't play last night either with Les Miles.
That showed a lot to me by Miles. It really did.
You know, I knew it. In fact, we talked about it at work Friday. We knew Jeremy Hill was not. He couldn't put him in the game, Lane.
No. But you know what he did? I have to give it to Miles.
He couldn't do it. But he didn't let people know.
Exactly. He
didn't, because he said it was going to be a team deal. It wasn't going to be publicized. But I knew he was not playing last night. I knew that.
I thought that was awesome. You know why I thought it was
right.
awesome? Because he made, like you just said, he made everybody believe that he was going to play him.
Right.
And on that subject,
there was no need. If we couldn't beat TCU, we need to go home. That's another thing, you know. But Manziel, can you imagine his age, the talent he has, his future he has? And someone said, man, wake up, bro. Wake up. Look what you're doing.
You don't think people are already talking to him now?
I guess. I don't know. So, Lane, right now, what do you think? The cameras is off. Everything's off. It's Sunday morning this morning. What do you think his coach said to him today? What do you think he said?
Sumlin looked pissed. I think Sumlin's a class guy. He's worked his behind off.
Yeah.
He's done the coaching trail thing like Saban has done and Urban Meyer. He's trying to work his way up the ladder.
Right.
You know, in fact, he got offered NFL jobs at some point.
So what do you think?
This morning he came into his own.
Maybe not this morning or maybe tomorrow morning. Something happened.
Oh, this morning.
He put this kid in his office. Now, what do you think he told him? What are you doing? What's going to happen?
Well, excuse my language.
Do you think they suspended?
Yesterday, he chewed his ass on the sidelines.
Oh, God, yeah.
He chewed his ass, and he needed it. I think he pulled him in that locker room, maybe even last night. And I think he blew up on him because he was mad. I really think he just looked so exhausted last night. Like he don't know what to do no more.
You can't coach when you got a kid that's killing you.
That guy's taking all of his energy up, and like he said, you would have thought by now he would have learned. You would have thought by him getting that second chance. He's lucky he's in the damn game, but he's doing things, in my opinion, that are selfish. He's more worried about his popularity and everything else. And I think I disagreed with you on this for months now. I think I'm finally going to agree with you. I think the NCAA will never give a freshman the Heisman again.
Oh, he blew that.
You will never see a freshman get the Heisman
They
again.
can't handle it, Lane.
He was the first, and I think he's going to be the last.
Get down, because it's showing you that they cannot handle it. They're too young. It's
too
no matter
much.
how good you are, it's too. Me personally, I think they ought to give the Heisman junior or senior.
Yeah.
But what's bad, a lot of them don't go. A lot of them don't go.
Well, a sophomore who shows, that professionalism. Because I think the Heisman, which, to fair to Johnny, when they didn't. If he would have acted like this and got the same stats last year, they wouldn't have gave it to him.
Oh, no.
They wouldn't have gave it to him. They just. And let's keep in mind, he had some things that went on last summer that we didn't know about.
They were hush-hushing it,
Quiet.
remember?
God, we didn't even, at this time last year, we didn't even know who he was.
That's true, yeah. We didn't even know who Mansell was, Mr. Johnny Football.
And I will say this, and I got in an argument with it last night with somebody. I'm not saying that Manziel will have a good year, but there is no way in hell, one, he puts up the stats that he put up last year, or win the Heisman.
He's a bullseye target.
It's not happening.
No.
And I agree with
and
that.
See all that running he's doing? No.
Which last year he rushed for 1,400 yards.
Hold on, though. He was a newcomer. He was fooling y'all. What made Johnny Manziel? We're gonna say it a million times. If he wouldn't have beat Alabama, when he beat Alabama,
That put him on the map.
that was it.
And that's what everybody still talks about. But yeah, we're gonna move on. All right, no, we got time. We got time. I tell you what, let's do. So Jason keeps texting me. I'm gonna bring Jason on real quick before we go through the rest of the scores.
I know we got a 2-hour show, so that's why.
Because we only usually do one commercial an hour. So,
Fine.
let's bring Jason on. Let's see what Jason has to say about this.
Yeah, I want to hear his take about Mr. Johnny Football.
Hey, he might as well change his name to football.
Get your bigger cup.
No. Yeah, you can if you want.
Yeah, it's full.
Hello?
Jason,
Hey.
welcome to the show, man. What's going on?
Oh, man, not a whole lot. Just watching a little TV and hanging out.
Yeah. Thought I'd call you, see what was happening. Wild weekend of football, huh?
Oh, yeah, man, it was great, dude. I saw it yesterday. Being with football was nice.
Yeah, it's nice to do some catching up. Wow, I mean, we got so many question marks about so many teams, and especially SEC teams.
Man, bring it.
Did you get to watch the A&M Rice game last night or yesterday?
I did watch the A&M Rice game, and you know what? I was all about Johnny Manziel last year, but that dude is a piece of crap.
And that's were you listening to the show a while ago when we were talking about?
No, I wasn't. I was watching TV.
That's what we were saying.
I figured you was going to catch me up.
Well, that's what we were talking about. And for him to do what he did and put his team in that type of spot, that's unreal, isn't it? When you think...
It really is.
When you think that there's nothing more that this guy can do, he pulls something like that,
But he needs to realize that he's in the SEC, and not only is he in the SEC, he's in the SEC West.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to realize that you do have Alabama coming to you in 2 weeks. You do have LSU that you're going to play this year, too. And Alabama's going to hit you in the mouth first, and you're going to shut up. You're going to close your mouth, and you're not going to point at the scoreboard because you're not going to beat Alabama twice. It's not going to happen. You got lucky last year to beat Alabama. Great game. That's when I jumped on his bandwagon. But this year, it's not going to happen. I'll put money on it that they do not beat Alabama this year because they didn't look good. They gave up too many points against Rice yesterday.
Well, yeah. They struggled. Yeah, they struggled against Rice. I mean...
They did. They seriously struggled. Defensive-wise, Alabama's going to kill them.
Yeah, I don't find that their ranking right now is nearly where that team's at all.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that they look more like a 18th, 19th, maybe even 20th ranked team.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think when they go into Bama, I think they got – and I don't think Bama's going to be the team that everybody thinks, to be honest.
I don't think so either. Alabama struggled yesterday.
Yeah.
If you look at it, their special teams was the best part of their game.
That's exactly how they won. Was their special teams.
They struggled. They really struggled last year. Is this the SEC's year this year? I don't know, man. I really don't. LSU's got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do, defensive-wise, too. And their running games was not very good yesterday.
Hey, Jason, how you doing, man?
What's that?
Hey, it's Coyote. How you doing? Welcome to Cajun Sports Radio.
Hey, what's up, Coyote?
Oh, not too much, man. I have to step out a second. You doing all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm good, man. It was a pretty talking afternoon. I'm drinking coffee, so. You can see how my night went last night.
Good deal. So, what y'all talking about, Lane?
Well, he was saying how he was a Manziel guy last year, after what Johnny pulled.
That was unbelievable.
But let's get into some. Oh, I'm sorry, Jason. Go ahead and say what you wanted to say.
Oh no, I was just going to agree with Ed because it was ridiculous. It really was. And that doesn't make any sense. We understand that you're good and you got paid to do your autograph. That's fine, do whatever. But you're only 20 years old. You're still a kid.
Yeah, he's way out of control. He is out of control. He's getting to the point now where even ESPN said today, we were talking about that just now, where they getting tired of it.
Now,
yeah, and then your coach benches you. Like, that does not look good as far as you becoming an NFL prospect. Like, that's going to hurt you. You could have been a first-round pick.
Well, who's going to want to work?
You're still going to be a first-round pick, but
I don't know.
It's going to hurt you, dude. It really is. Who's going to pick you up? The Cleveland Browns?
I'm
not
not.
One quarterback that's been good since the Browns picked up.
Yeah.
I'm not certain that he's a first-round pick. I'm really not, because even before all this started, his size was a question mark. And
yeah,
I will say this. College quarterback, very talented, and we're going to move on after this. But who's going to want to work with him?
True.
Who is going to want to work? You think Belichick would be able to put up with that? No.
Me and Megan were watching the football game yesterday. We were watching the A&M and Rice. And you know what she said? She said the most brilliant thing I've ever heard a woman say. She's like, that's another Tim Tebow. I was like, oh, crap, you're right. Like, he's going to go get to the NFL and he's going to choke.
While y'all were talking, I was thinking about that. You know how good you got to be. Look, Tebow. He didn't do nothing.
Now, let's move on to the big game of the night last night. Clemson, Georgia, a barn burner of a game. Clemson was jacked for this one. They get the W, 38-35. Jason, what did you see in this game?
Man, that was an incredible. I kept turning it back and forth between LSU and Clemson. Well, first, I was watching Clemson and Georgia, and then LSU came on. I kept turning it back and forth. And at first, it was a defensive game. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is going to be good. And then Clemson scored, and then Georgia scored, and then it kept going back and forth. I was like, oh, shit, like, this is really good now. And then I turned it back. I think it was almost halftime for LSU, and I turned it back, and they were just going at it. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, it was a good game.
And, that being said, is that, remember, I texted you, and I told you I got new picks for the national championship. Clemson's one of them. Clemson, I can't believe I forgot about Clemson.
I tell you what, I didn't. Well, the thing with Clemson is every year is they always choke in the big games. That's what they're known for.
They do. And I'm scared because they got to play South Carolina this year, and that's what kind of scared me from picking Clemson. It's like, man, I don't know, dude, because if they beat South Carolina, they pretty much got it.
Well, they got
Florida State too, but
we'll see what Florida State's about tomorrow night. Now, another team that I think people don't need to forget about, they didn't play this week, is Stanford. I think people need to not forget about Stanford either. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be in a national championship, but Georgia, though, it seems like they've been like the Clemson of the SEC. They're known to blow it in the big games, Jason. And Aaron Murray, you would think a fifth-year senior, he would have looked better than what he did last night, in my opinion. I think he choked in a couple of spots.
Yeah, I do too. Aaron Murray, he did not play good. He played very bad.
Oh, yeah.
You see his record. They brought over his record yesterday, and I had been drinking all day, so I kind of forget. But when he played top-ranked teams, he was horrible. When he played unranked teams, he was like the best quarterback alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, look at the guy. I mean, he's a good quarterback. He just did not play good yesterday at all.
He just had a bad game. He had a bad game.
Taj Boyd. We got about 5 minutes. We got to restart we got to let you go because we got to restart the show at 6.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you can come back on in the middle of the hour, but I got to restart it. Taj Boyd. I think he's a Heisman candidate now. What do you think? I mean, I think he proved himself last night.
It's between him and Teddy Bridgewater for me.
Yeah.
Because them two are both really good. And I was watching Teddy Bridgewater when he was playing Ohio, and he was just picking them apart, of course, because Ohio, I mean, come on. We all know that Ohio's not that really good of a team, but who's to say whenever, Louisville plays, I don't know, say they play a top 5 team, like a South Carolina team or a Clemson team, like then we'll really see about Teddy Bridgewater. But, I think Taj Boyd proved himself last night against an SEC defense, like Georgia's defense. Man, he proved himself, and I feel with me, I'd give him the Heisman right now and say Johnny Manziel go to hell.
But yeah, I completely agree, and I think the reason why he's going to have a good chance of being a Heisman winner is because of the talent that he plays. He's going to have because my problem with Louisville is they might go undefeated, but they don't play anybody.
Yeah, exactly. The only team that they play that's remotely half-ass good is Kentucky, and Kentucky's not even good. They're just SEC.
Yeah. Sammy Watkins, too, for Clemson. He's no pushover, is he?
Oh, my God. Isn't he like the fastest person alive?
He's pretty close to it.
Did you see when he caught that little slant pass?
Yeah.
He was gone. Like, he stiff-armed that one dude, and he was gone. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
He's quick.
Like, that was 70-something yards on a foot race, and he left them like 8 yards back. I was like, holy crap, dude. They showed who they were last year when they played LSU, and they showed who they were this year when they played Georgia. That's 2 SEC teams back-to-back that you beat.
Yep. And you know what? And I will say this. Game day was there. I'm going to try to hurry up with this. Game day was there yesterday, and all they kept talking about was that win over LSU. That win meant so much to them. It really did.
Pumped them up.
It pumped them up.
It pumped them up.
And it showed them. I liked it because it showed the world, and last night did too. It showed the world that the SEC can be beaten.
Oh, yeah.
The SEC is not unbeatable. It can be beaten, and I love that. But real quick, we got about a couple of minutes. Your thoughts real quick on the LSU game, Jason.
Now, LSU game, Zach Mettenberger looked pretty good. And, them two receivers, Beckham and Landry, I think they're the two best receiving duo in the NCAA. Them guys are incredible.
Yep.
And we didn't see that last year because Odell Beckham, he would drop passes, he would fumble the ball. He was an idiot. I think this year that now that you got Cam Cameron in the mix, that they're a lot better for sure. Definitely. And then the running game, they need to beef that up a little bit. It's not that it wasn't, it was good, but it's just, I don't know, you get -4, -5 yards on one drive. No, that shouldn't happen like that. That's not how LSU plays football. They're hard-nosed. They run the ball at you, and that just didn't happen last night. They had some breakaway runs, but shit, Ohio can have a breakaway run on you.
Yeah.
Blue had a bad night. Alfred Blue.
He did have a bad night.
He had it, but he's good.
They played Kenny Hilliard enough. And, Jeremy Hill, is he's suspended, that's fine. But whenever he does come back, what are you going to do with Alfred Blue? You're going to put him on the bench? Like, no, he needs to work. He needs to play.
I completely agree. Jason, man, I really hate, I guess I should have called you earlier. It's 6 o'clock. I got to restart it.
If you want, you can call me back. I don't have anything to do, so.
Yeah, I tell you what, we're going to be previewing NFL games in the upcoming few minutes. Well, about 6:40, something like that. I'll give you a call back.
Okay.
All right, Jason, I appreciate it.
All right, man.
Thank you.
All right, guys, this is Cajun Sports Radio. This is the top of the 6 o'clock hour. If you are just joining,
flew, Elaine.
yes, that was fun, and we didn't even get to finish breaking down the rest of the game.
I told you that's why we come in 2 hours, y'all. I figured that was gonna happen.
Look, bottom line, real quick before we go into the top of the hour stuff. In-state, UL Lafayette, really against Arkansas, very disappointing.
Well, wait till you go this week, Lane.
Tuesday, I hope I'm in Lafayette.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
you're gonna be. And boy, you're gonna hear a lot of. I think they should have played in the third game, second game of the season. The first game of the season was hard to do.
They needed the money.
Yeah.
And then Oklahoma rolled UL Monroe.
Well, I kind of figured that.
But
I hate that for UL, y'all.
This is. Yeah, I know. This is Cajun Sports Radio. Like I said, this is the top of the hour. This is hour number 2. If you are just joining us, we talked about a lot of stuff in hour number 1. We're going to get back into some of that stuff. Dad, right off the bat, for all the new listeners who are just joining us, let's get back into that LSU game. What did you see in that game?
Well, Lane, everybody, first thing, again, welcome to Cajun Sports Radio. I was impressed. They still got a lot of work to do, y'all. In the red zone, they got a lot of work to do. But I'm impressed we've seen more on the offense with everybody was waiting to see Mettenberger. And the first half, to me, didn't look that good because we should have, y'all, the score don't show nothing. We should have blew them off the field. But we scored some points. Mettenberger was scrambling in the pocket. He looked good. The defense, we need to tighten up a little bit. It's just the first game, and, we pulled it out by 10, and I was just happy with the offense. It looked better. We need to work on the red zone, and we got a lot of work to do. But I'm impressed.
This is Cajun Sports Radio. We are presented by Best Bike ATV and DirecTV. Join DirecTV and get the first year of the NFL Sunday Ticket free, as well as $100 off of your first year by letting us know at CajunSportsRadio.com or Facebook.com/CajunSportsRadio. On Facebook.com/CajunSportsRadio, you can also put comments about the show. My thing, as we talked about in hour number 1, is statistics. Time of possession. LSU 36, TCU 24. That is huge for us to control the ball like that. And I'm going to disagree with both of you and Jason. Y'all said, or did you say about the running game, or that was just Jason? I thought the running game wasn't that bad.
No, I didn't.
Guys, we played a good defense, and
I know you keep saying that with the defense. I guess they're that good of a defense.
They've been top 5.
Yeah,
usually in the last few
hit
years.
Today when you told me that, and I ended up going pull some stats. You're right.
We
played a damn good defense.
And you look at, they're usually right there with LSU, and TCU is a program on the rise. Year after year, they've continued to bring that program up. Hey, you know who went to TCU? Andy Dalton, the quarterback for the Bengals. Also, LaDainian Thomas. I don't know if you remember that. He did. He went to TCU too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
LT
went to TCU.
Oh, come on, Lane. I didn't know that.
Yep.
I mean, damn.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Also, we got a lot of stuff planned for this hour. We broke down college football games from week 1 in hour number 1. Hour number 2, we're going to preview week 1 of the NFL, as well as look at some big games to keep an eye out for in college football. Week 2 already.
But yeah, we're going to start already week 2. Unreal.
That's what I was saying to somebody the other day. We try to rush for college, for football to get here, and it's like when it gets here, whoa,
you want it to stop.
Yeah, whoa, break it down, but it doesn't work like that. Zach Mettenberger, just so calm in the pocket, man. Matty Ice back there, Remember how Matt Ryan used to be so calm in the pocket in college? That's what he reminded me of. Cool, collected. He would make a mistake. He'd get back up. He would, he would roll with the punches.
I still say he got a lot of work to do. Here we go. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he does.
He does. We got to expect this, though. It's time. All it took was that coaching. Cam Cameron had to do something here. That does make a big difference. But then you said someone first hour. Cam Cameron stayed in the box. He wasn't on the RC.
He coached from the booth. And a lot of coordinators. Well, look at the defensive coordinator.
Chavez.
He stays in the box.
Yep. Okay.
And Cameron's always been known for coaching in the box.
I guess he don't want to be by Miles too much. Serious.
It's either that.
I'm serious.
Or another thing is, and that could be it too. Another thing is, which I'm gonna tell you something about that in a little while. You're gonna laugh about. Another thing is, you can see more from the booth.
Oh yeah.
McGee, he had to be the standout star in this one, man. He really ran the ball solid, averaging 7.5 yards a pop, 2 touchdowns. Blue had some good runs, but it was his bad plays that was disappointing for me, and the fumble, of course.
I think he was just trying to run too hard.
That's a good point.
I'm serious, y'all. He sat out all last year. Can you imagine? Your horse has just been sitting out. You can't wait to get back on the field. I guess he was so pumped up. I think Lane, let the time go by with, because y'all, let's face it, he's good.
Oh yeah.
I think he was just excited, Lane. You know what I mean? He wanted to do so much because, again, expectations. People expect that.
Yeah, and somebody brought up something to me. John, a guy who's called the show in, very knowledgeable football mind. And I went back and looked at it today, and it's that he has struggled in games against good defenses. And he has.
Really?
You go look at his stats. He has. He's a lot of plays. He had nowhere to go last night. Like I said.
Oh, they were prepared for him. I can tell you that.
They
They
that's a
were
good point.
prepared.
That is the running back that they knew
Yup.
they were going to get a heavy dose
They
of.
knew that. So,
Going back to we just talked about him, Jeremy Hill. I think the TCU coach Gary Patterson.
he knew.
He knew. Now, on that note, we didn't talk about this in hour number 1. When does Hill come back? When does Miles start playing?
I don't look Hill to be back. Let's see. We play what, TCU? I gotta look at the schedule.
A couple of cupcakes
I'm
the next
gonna,
2 weeks.
UAB. That's what I meant. Next week. Y'all, I'm looking at week 3, Lane. I
Maybe more than that, because I think we got a cupcake the week after that too.
Yeah, I think he's going to sit him out. Or maybe play him the second half like Manziel. Play him the second half. But we don't need him right now.
No.
We don't need him.
But we will.
SEC.
We will need him.
We're going to need him, believe me, y'all. I'm so excited he's back on the field. Y'all can all say what y'all want. We need him.
Well, officially, he's not back. Well, he's on the sidelines. But you know what? ESPN, if I can remember right, I did drink a few last night, but if I can remember right, I don't remember ESPN showing him. Hill.
I've seen him a couple of times. He did show him. And he was dressed out.
Oh, yeah.
He was dressed out, ready to go. And I seen one time, I don't know if he knew the cameras was on him. I don't know. But it's like he was by Miles. And he just had his head down. He was shaking his head like, I wish I was out there, guys.
Yeah, but there we go, though. Now,
It's his fault.
do you think Miles told him that for sure he wasn't going to play?
Oh, yeah, he knew that. He knew that, man. He told him. All right, now,
Or do you think Miles played with him and just didn't start him and didn't tell him anything and just didn't?
I know before the game, in the locker room, before they went out, he told him, you ain't playing, bro. Oh, yeah, he told him. I think.
You don't think?
I might be
but
wrong.
well, I think that maybe Miles kept it open if he needed
Oh,
him.
just him just waiting to go in? Huh? He might
coulda
have did that.
Why not? Because I
Yeah.
think it would have got out to the media if he did say something before.
Oh, yeah, because the media, you're right, Lane.
He would've
The
gone out
media
to the
picks
media.
up everything.
Um,
Maybe, you're right. Maybe he just left it.
Now, I'm gonna ask you this: going back to Manziel, I know we can't get enough of him. Real quick,
We just keep talking about the dude, man.
do you think the A&M coach should have sat him out the whole game and not played him at all?
If he would have known what he pulled,
Yeah, he would. Yeah,
huh?
especially in my opinion, I thought
He
about
sat him down, didn't he? Afterwards, look at the lead.
and it was almost the end of the game. But going back real quick to him, Jokel for A&M did a great job. Do you think kind of was a slap in the face of A&M saying we are going to put Manziel in? I think that maybe A&M should have turned the corner and looked at the future and been like, no, let's go with Jokel this game. But you know what? Going back to that, though, I will say this. They were struggling against Rice. If they would have been beating Rice bad, I don't think he would have came in.
Thank you. That's the whole bottom line. If they would have had a big lead, Manziel wouldn't even seen the field. But y'all, they were struggling against Rice. Now, come on.
I know.
And
Rice.
Can you imagine? You can't have Texas A&M losing the first game against Rice.
You know how bad that
Man,
would have
no,
been.
it would have blew their season.
And then and if you wouldn't have played Manziel, and let me tell you how big of a deal it was that Manziel was coming into the game. On other ESPN networks, the bottom line started going nuts. Second half coming up, Manziel set the play. So ESPN was promoting for everybody to turn the channel and watch him.
Again, we talked about this the first hour, y'all. It's the NCAA's fault. That's why it's like that. But now they didn't think it was going to go too far. Last night showed it.
Oh, yeah.
He should have never did them gestures. And really, I don't know why he's doing it. So that, he just, but you know, they had it that they knew Manziel was coming in the game. They wanted people, and guess what? We couldn't wait to watch him.
I couldn't wait to watch it yesterday.
See, that's what's bad.
I could not wait for him to come into the game. I'm one of them.
That's what's unbelievable.
I couldn't wait.
Me either. I wanted to watch him play.
That's the problem.
He's exciting to watch, and he knew millions of people was going to be watching him do the money sign.
Yeah, not one hand, he did two hands.
And I keep watching it on ESPN. I love it. I keep
you want to watch it,
watching
and look, we's talking about it.
Yeah.
We're back to LSU.
And he always had that little smirk.
Oh yeah, he knows it. He wants it. That's the way he wants it.
Yeah.
Real quick, stat pack presented by DirecTV. Mettenberger, 16 for 32, 251, 1 TD. Stats don't really show what he did. Quarterback rating of 75.
Should have been 2 TDs, y'all. That was not his fault. I got to give it to him.
Wasn't it
first
Beckham
half,
that dropped it?
It was Beckham in his hands. It just bounced out.
McGee, 13 carries, 95 yards, 2 TDs. Alfred Blue, 19 carries, 89 yards. No touchdowns. He still averaged 5 yards a pop, but he had to fumble. Receiving, Odell Beckham, 5 catches, 118 yards. No touchdowns. The star, in my opinion, this guy, Jarvis Landry, 8 catches, 109 yards, 1 TD.
Blew it out.
Stat pack, first downs, LSU dad, 26, TCU 13. Double the first downs. Amazing. To me, third down efficiency, 13 for 19. TCU 7 out of 13.
Huge.
That's huge. Total yards, 448 to 259. LSU, they dominated everything. Pace passing, 251, 45.
Really, the
yards.
score don't show.
Thank you.
The score don't show what LSU did out there.
The score does not show. In fact, if you look at these stats, I'm glad you said that. Especially time of possession.
The numbers, it don't show what LSU did out there.
With looking at these numbers, time of possession, total yards, third down efficiency, what does the score supposed to look like? If you had
It would have been ugly.
like
My
2
God.
touchdowns, more than that.
Let's back it all up.
Then you got to go to the
in
fumble.
the bank, 2 touchdowns easy.
And then you got to go back to
Then
Blue.
that's not the fumble
Fumbling in
and
right by the end zone.
and fumbling in. So God dang. Okay, 21. Oh
Possible.
God, it would have been ugly.
So you're satisfied?
Yeah, I gotta say I'm satisfied.
The more you're looking at it, I think the more you're being sold.
Just, when you start looking at the stats more and more, Lane was so impressed last night. We couldn't watch the game together last night, and he was calling me down. He's doing, it don't the score don't show what what I mean. And now I see what you're talking about.
Future schedule here coming up, presented by Best Bike ATV. UAB next week.
That's what I say. And Jeremy Hill, he's out
in Tiger Stadium. That will be an ESPNU game at 6. We're lucky for that.
Why is it an ESPNU?
ESPNU picks up everything.
Oh well, that's
we're playing UAB.
Yeah, you are.
Kent State. It's gonna be the week after that in Tiger Stadium, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. ESPN2 or ESPNU. It could be either one of them.
Lane, whatever happened to Tiger Vision? Is that out?
Yeah. Well, no. They do one Tiger Vision game a year. Now, when the SEC Network comes around next year.
When does that start?
Next year. Tiger Vision's done. Tiger Vision does one game a year, which I would have to, looking at the schedule, I can tell you this is going to be the Tiger Vision game right here. October 26th against Furman. That'll be your Tiger Vision game.
Who's Furman?
Exactly. That's why that's going to be your Tiger Vision game. They play Auburn September the 21st.
Boy, they didn't look good yesterday at all.
No, they struggled.
At all.
Do you see him being back That's the gold game, which means I think that's the homecoming, the gold game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll be back for the Auburn game.
Then you got...
And knowing Miles, he might play next week, y'all. He don't tell nobody. He ain't telling nobody. And he did say that. The punishment is... They're not going to say. You know what I mean? It's an in-house punishment.
And I think that's the right way to handle it.
Yeah.
Real quick, and I think the biggest thing is this is when the schedule starts. After we got Auburn, we got to go to Athens for Georgia.
No, it starts at Auburn.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You don't know. It's SEC's hit and miss, boy.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's when the schedule starts.
That's when the
Auburn.
schedule starts.
We play Auburn at home, and then here it is. We go to Georgia the 28th. Then the 5th, we go to Starksville.
That's all tough games,
Yeah,
man.
and then at home, here's the big one, against Florida. And then here's the game you better get ready for. October the 19th, we play Ole Miss early this year. At Ole Miss.
Wow.
Get ready for that one.
Tell you what, they look good.
Yeah, we talked about that in the first hour, guys. They look pretty good against Vandy.
Yeah.
They did. And then after that, you got the Furman game. And then here's the big one, November 9th in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, it's always a bye first, though. Remember that. You're always
Sure
going to
is.
have a bye.
It ain't this year. No, it is, because
See?
it's the 9th. You're right.
You're always going to have a bye. And guess what? Alabama's going to have a bye.
Yeah.
They always do it where they both got a bye. Well, last year they did, year before.
They did the year before. But you're okay. You're all right. Then November the 23rd, A&M at home. So if we can get through that part, then you got... No, actually, homecoming is the Foreman game. If you can get... Okay, then you got A&M, second to last game of the year, November the 23rd, which we got a bye after Alabama, too. How about that? We got a bye before Alabama and after.
Yeah, they did talk about 2 byes. But did they talk about putting a game in there or something? They talked about a while back. There is 2 byes?
2 byes. Look at the schedule. So 26 we play Furman. We don't play Alabama till the 9th.
Yeah.
That's,
wouldn't that be something like the 2017? We start off at 15 or 13 and went all the way. And this year, wouldn't that be something, Lane? Everybody was saying about the way they started us. After last night, Mom, all pumped up now.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We still have 2 byes.
Yeah.
Because look, play them the 9th of November. We don't play A&M till the 23rd.
That's true.
All of
That's
our
going to be a tough one.
at home, and then we got Arkansas, which who knows what Arkansas. But bottom line, we've seen a lot of good things. Alabama, we didn't get to talk about this in the first hour. What's your thoughts on Alabama?
I didn't get to see that game.
You didn't miss much.
I didn't get to see it, y'all.
Alabama scored with their special teams, basically. They had some punt and kick returns.
That's what you and Jason was talking about.
Big plays. The defense was kind of... They played Virginia Tech.
Well, you as good as who you play, too. That make a difference. Oh, y'all, don't worry. Alabama's there.
I know. We're not going to start dogging on Alabama.
No. Alabama's are real.
But let me tell you. Okay, this is Cajun Sports Radio. All right, this is hour number 2. If you're just joining us after the show, listen again to hour number 1. Start it over. All right, after the bye, we're going to switch it. We're going to go into some NFL. Or you want to preview next week college football, then go in the NFL? Yeah, that way we stay on college. Okay, well, after the bye, we're going to preview some games that we like coming into week 2. Then after that,
After the break or the bye?
I said bye. After the break,
Because we're talking about the 2 bye
we're
games.
talking about the bye, 2 bye
I
weeks.
check on it to make sure there's 2 bye games.
I looked at you. By weeks, not games. Well, look at the schedule.
I'll pick it. I gotta pick out sometime, y'all.
Which I'm gonna pick at you during the break. But this is Cajun Sports Radio, represented by Direct TV. Join Direct TV. Listen to me. Join Direct TV. Get the first year of the Sunday ticket free and $100 off of your first year. Also, check out bestbikeatv.com. Check those guys out. Out of the break, we'll be back with some more football talk. Thanks for listening.
You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio with Coyote and Lane.
Smell the gumbo? You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.
Hey, it's Lane from Cajun Sports Radio, and right now we have to talk about Best Bike ATV. This is something that you need to know about. Best Bike ATV is a full-service mechanic shop, locally owned and operated, specializing in the repairing of most ATVs, dirt bikes, and motorcycles. They sell a full line of aftermarket as well as factory parts and accessories. They have a factory-certified mechanic on duty at all times. They are an authorized high lifter, Gorilla, STI, and ITP dealer. They are located on Highway 1 in Echo, Louisiana, about 7 miles north of Marksville. Their operating hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit their website at www.bestbikeatv. Contact them at 318-597-9022. Once again, www.bestbikeatv.com, 318-597-9022. You're going to want to check them out. You will be very impressed. Tell them that Lane from Cajun Sports Radio sent you. Thank you.
You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio with Coyote and Lane.
Welcome back to the always popular Cajun Sports Radio. You can listen to us every Sunday evening on CajunSportsRadio.com. You could also listen to us on Facebook.com/Cajun Sports Radio. We are presented by Direct TV. Join Direct TV, get the first year of the NFL Sunday Ticket free, as well as get $100 off the first year by letting us know at CajunSportsRadio.com. We're also presented by BestBikeATV.com. I just want to go ahead and send a shout out to go ahead and do it. With Rusty and our new fantasy football league there at the High Roller. I'm looking forward to the draft tonight at 7:30. And yeah, I just wanted to say I'm glad. I appreciate y'all invited us to play in that league. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to some trash talking and everything like that. But week 2 is interesting. First off, you know how I love TV. I love to talk everything going on in television. ESPN used to grab big ratings every week with the Thursday night game. Well, they did well earlier in the season with that until the NFL decided to go every week to have a Thursday night game. That started last year. It used to be the NFL had a Thursday night game to open the year off, and that was it till like week 10. Now they do Thursday night football year round. That started last year. Well, they kept their Thursday night game, ESPN, last year, and their ratings suffered for it. Now ESPN's cooling it down on their Thursday night games because, you know, they're not like this week. They don't even have a Thursday night game. Why? Because you know that the NFL, everybody's Thursday night we open the NFL. They know that everybody's going to be watching the NFL. I just thought I'd let everybody know that.
Couldn't have. You know, we were talking about something yesterday. I don't know if it's just every year, the last few years, why this year so many people is waiting for football.
Everybody.
But is it just me? Like,
It's America's addiction, as they call it.
It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was told yesterday evening, we got next, football season started this weekend. We can't be here because next weekend we got dove season. They planning the football season before what to do. It's hard to explain what I'm talking about.
You used to not see that.
You never used to hear that.
You know what it is?
would sit right here and watch football. No one would talk about the Saints. Nobody.
You know what it is? You know what contributes to it? These televisions and everything like that. When you could put it on, like the other night, me watching it on an HD 60-inch TV, watching that.
Rolling, bro.
You watch a game in that, and it's so addictive. Like, when you start watching football in high def, I really think high definition, HD, was the best thing that ever happened to sports.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could sit there. They had a commercial. I wanted to tell you about this. It was a beer commercial Saturday morning during game day. And it said, it's okay, It seems like over the years, we have became more and more addicted to watching football. And now it's to a point to where it's okay to sit around, and people are sitting around and watching 15 hours a day of football, just sitting down and the sad part about it is I'm one of them. I could sit I could start on Thursday, never leave my house till Monday or Tuesday and just watch nothing but football, and I could never get bored with it.
I know. You were talking about a 60-inch real quick. I got a buddy of mine work Rusty. He got, I believe it's a 90.
Man.
You should, y'all ought to see this setup.
Oh.
I'm talking about from the sound, the picture.
I mean, something like that.
Unbelievable.
Why would you want to go to a game when you have that in front of you?
No. Lane, you got to see it. It's just like you on the field. Whenever he showed me, I'm like, oh my God, it's so clear, and it's just amazing. But anyway, you're right. Why? And you say it's going to hurt ticket sales? No, people still going to go. You know what I mean? It just gives the families more to stay home and watch it. I guess somewhere.
We're a society too that stays home now. We got so much entertainment. When you were coming up, you didn't have all this entertainment at home. You had to go out.
Oh yeah.
Now you can entertain yourself from home. You don't need to. You could think of it like this: you could sit home on a Saturday if you got premium television, whether it be satellite, whatever, and you could literally watch football from around the country. You could live in the woods. Think about that. How cool is that? You could live in a remote area in the woods and watch football from around the country all day long. You could sit down on a Sunday, like I do. I've had the Sunday ticket for years. That's why I put over DirecTV. They're a sponsor. And I could watch every single NFL game in a season from my living room for the price of what it would cost me to go to one game for the whole season.
But that's true, yeah.
For the price that it would cost me to... Yeah. That ain't counting fuel. That's not counting...
The motels, the food.
The drinking.
The partying and all. Look, y'all, it's fun to go watch it live. I was fortunate years ago, me and Lane used to go... He can't say he never went to the Saints game because we used to go all the time. So we had our fun of going to the live games.
We went pre-Super Bowl. We would go and everybody wasn't on the bandwagon.
Right. And, we did go more to New Orleans than LSU. I'll be honest with y'all. We did. I took Lane maybe to what on my hand 4 games LSU. But it's not that he didn't want. He wanted to go see the Saints. And I'm looking forward for a lot of basketball games this year. But anyway, going back to that, I just wanted to tell y'all, you talking about big TVs and all, but the setup Rusty has on real.
And Rusty is one of our premium listeners.
Him listening.
He listens every week, and we really appreciate that. And in fact, I told Dad to text him. We were coming in on at 5. Bottom line is entertainment is just at a fact to where that it's just so comfortable. You can sit on your recliner and be comfortable and not have somebody in your back. You can drink as much as you want, and not have, it's just, I enjoy watching the games at home. I really do. And wait till 3D gets big. Wait till those 3D televisions get cheaper and you got football in 3D. I watched a 3D game one time, and it was unbelievable. Basketball.
I love to see that. I don't know what you're talking about.
You feel like you're half court.
And Lane, that's going to be the big thing?
In about 5 years.
That's going to be the next step?
Because at one point, you only had a certain amount of games in HD. They went little bit by little bit. Now, every game is in HD. Every single football game, for the most part, is in HD. Everything. Even if two Division I teams that are two Division II teams like today who played. That's in HD. Everything. You used to not see that. Now, but what's interesting though, I say that. What's very interesting is last year and the previous years they've been bringing more and more 3D games into the picture. But yesterday we didn't have any 3D games. It's almost
that's
like
what I was fixing to say. I don't know.
ESPN.
How would you know if it's 3D?
Your satellite provider. It's another channel. Like ESPN has a 3D channel.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But it's like almost like ESPN has not been doing 3D games. Almost like they lost money on them and they're not doing them anymore. So maybe the 3D thing is kind of being put on hold because I'm going to say this. 3D was awesome, but it's kind of HD is just it's just so unbelievable.
And Lane, even your Lane got a set up at your house.
But I'm going to have to upgrade. It's nice. Yeah.
It's always you always want bigger, but I like your setup. But so Lane, so the HD, like my provider, I would have to call them and see if they had HD.
Mm-hmm.
I mean 3D.
Yeah, but the way it works is you have 3D channels. And like I said, ESPN was putting this over big time at one point. But it's like last night, because I could see if the game's in 3D
I
or
did
not.
ask Rusty about that, if his is, it might be 3D.
Most of the new ones are.
Okay.
They're 3D compatible, which means you can use them for HD or 3D. In fact, it's actually called HD3 or 3D HD, something like that. But anyway, let's move on. Things to look for in week 2 of college football, right off of the bat. What's going to happen with Georgia? They play South Carolina. That will be a 3:30 game on ESPN Central Standard Time.
Georgia could stay with South Carolina.
They took a big loss. What does that do?
Well, Georgia, man, they ranked fifth in the country.
Yeah, but hold on, they lost. They lost to Clemson.
That's true. Yo,
What's going to
Clemson
happen?
shocked me, bro. They come off of that big chicken bowl with LSU and showed it.
That chick, you remember we talked about
They
this?
showed it last
That game
night.
meant so much to him.
Oh,
that
my God.
chicken bowl
Lane
game
mentioned
meant
earlier
so
the
to
first of
him.
the hour. He's talking about, they trying to make a statement that, guess what? We can beat the SEC. We can beat them.
What's interesting, like I said, you watched game day was in Clemson yesterday, and they were jacked in Clemson.
You seen the people.
They were jacked. They were so
going crazy.
And they brought up the LSU game a few times.
Oh yeah.
That game to LSU didn't mean nothing to that team, and that's why I'm glad they won it. Now that I see it, I'm glad that they won that game because it meant so much to that college.
That'll mean something to LSU because I tell you what, that was embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody forgot about that.
They did.
But let's pay Miles some more money.
Which, let's not do that because of
No, it's just a joke, Lane. It was a joke.
I don't know where you're going with that.
Yeah,
that was horrible.
I know. It was just a joke.
South Carolina, Georgia. But the thing is, South Carolina has always struggled against Georgia. They always blow it against Georgia. And you know what? These two always play each other at the beginning of the year, and it always decides the division.
Yeah.
If they lose, that means Georgia... Because let's keep something in mind. Georgia's 0-1, but guess what? That wasn't an SEC game. That has nothing to do with that.
That makes a difference, yeah.
That had nothing to do with the SEC.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do. So in other words, that had nothing to do with them going to the SEC championship. Nothing. Had nothing. So if they come back, beat South Carolina, they're right back in it.
You know what's scary? Is they're coming off of a loss. The SEC's known for this. Mm-hmm. Sometime when you come off of a loss, you more of in a bind.
It wakes you up.
It wakes you up.
And they can't go over
the
two.
SEC is anybody in the SEC, and I'm going to repeat it. Anybody in the SEC can beat anybody. Well, not your Kentucky. You know what I mean. Yeah. I'm talking about your South Carolinas, your Floridas. You don't know what they're going to do.
Top tier.
Yeah,
you're top tier.
Man, they scary. You don't know what they're going to do. Like LSU. LSU can beat any given day anybody.
Yeah, well, we'll agree with that. They're a top tier team.
Yeah.
But the reason why I like Georgia in this game is because I just do not see... It's at home. He went to Clemson. Believe me, that loss was at Clemson. And I don't see Georgia going 0-2.
No.
And South Carolina...
The quarterback for Georgia, he did not have his best game.
And he's
guess
down
what?
on that.
Guess what?
He's going to be looking to shine.
He's going to be looking to shine, and that's going to be a damn good game. I see a lot of these teams, they're starting hard off like this the second game. We got 3 easy games. We'll play TCU. Okay, TCU was bigger than what I thought. Okay,
they're making money on them big games. ESPN's paying big for them, and it's just there's more money.
Why didn't Stanford play?
They play this week. They did not. I don't. They somehow or another their bye week fell in week 1, and I don't agree with that. I think that's crazy because you're left out when you do that. They open up now. I keep talking about this team. They're number 4. They need to destroy San Jose State.
They will.
Play them. They got to make some. They got to make some noise. Ohio State needs to destroy San Diego State. They play them on ABC or ESPN2, depending on where you live. Clemson, after that big win. Now, the rankings haven't came out, the top 25.
No.
I expect Clemson to at least be in the top 5.
Do you think LSU going to be in the top 10? No, they're going from... Some polls got us at 13, some got us at 15. You think we'll go down to 11?
Yeah, something about... I'll say top 12, something like that.
Yeah, because a lot of the big teams didn't lose,
A&M, Sam Houston State, we'll see with that. They shouldn't have any problems with that. Louisville, who look good today, still a comeback. Now, the big game that people are talking about, and it's this one. Georgia. Florida versus Miami, Dad.
That's going to be a good game.
In Miami. Florida was kind of...
That's 2 rivals there, boy.
Yeah, it's a huge rivalry.
That's UL against UL Monroe. The same rival, y'all. That's
great way of saying, wow. Great comparison. Oh, you were meaning like in-state. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't know what you were meaning. Yeah, I'm talking about in-state teams.
What was that? Florida versus Miami. Dad, Miami, they looked all right. Florida looked kind of questionable against Toledo.
Don't count them out.
In Miami, Dad. But it's 11 o'clock kickoff, early kickoff on ESPN. Your projection.
Florida.
And who do you like in the South Carolina-Georgia game?
The South Carolina-Clemson?
No, South Carolina-Georgia game.
Oh, okay. So, I tell you what I'm going to do, y'all. I like Steve Spurrier. I like the way he does everything, but Georgia ain't going 2 losses.
That's what I said.
Georgia ain't going 2 losses.
LSU, they have any problems with UAB?
They better not.
Oklahoma State, who looked good. We didn't get to talk about that in hour number 1. Oh, man, they looked good against Mississippi State. They clobbed. How about the SEC, man? They got 2 bad losses. Oklahoma State beat Mississippi State, and, they needed to win that game.
Yeah.
And I think LSU and Oklahoma State will probably be like that, neck and neck. And, of course, Clemson taking down Georgia. But Oklahoma State dominated Mississippi State. Yeah. Oklahoma State looked like the SEC team. Yep. They did against Mississippi State.
Oh, they made some noise.
They play University of Texas San Antonio.
Never heard of them.
They're a new school who's on the rise, guys. They're one of these new division schools who keep making some noise, yeah.
Oklahoma State took care of it.
Yeah. Another big game that everybody's talking about. This is a huge rivalry, one of the biggest in sports. Notre Dame versus Michigan in Michigan.
That's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a good game. A lot of people, and I'm one of them, it's like I can't help but not think down on Notre Dame after that national championship. I don't think the same of them.
Yeah.
After them being
they
clobbered.
Shouldn't have been there, like.
No, they shouldn't have.
No,
they shouldn't have.
That wasn't and even the coaches poll, whatever, after, they even said it was just so bad of a mismatch.
Mm-hmm.
That was, Alabama. Come on.
It's true.
Come on.
USC, Washington State, keep an eye on that one. But other than that.
USC used to be good, Joe. That used to be.
That used to be it. Let's take a look at the SEC teams real quick. What they got. Any SEC versus SEC action. You got, of course, South Carolina, Georgia.
Yeah.
That's the SEC game. Other than that, that's it. And real quick, we'll look at the 2 powerhouse in-state schools after both coming off of big losses. UL Monroe and UL Lafayette. We always like to talk about them. Lafayette,
Then you Kansas State?
After Kansas State came off that big loss where they got upset.
Oh.
Now, I will say this. Hold on. This could be good and this could be bad. Kansas State got upset by a Division II team. Which means that they could be beat. But they're not going to want another small school to come into their house 2 weeks in a row and beat them. So, man, UL Lafayette, who kind of struggled against Arkansas, I thought they could have beat them.
Yeah, but they played a good, it's kind of, an SEC team.
UL Monroe, Grambling State, they ought to take care of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see. And plus, keep in mind, Lafayette, Monroe, they rely on these games.
Yeah. So you telling me both these games last week with UL and next week? Really? I'll be going.
They got paid good by Arkansas, and they're going to get paid good by Kansas State.
Ooh, so they look forward for that.
That's their program. That's where they make all their money.
Really?
They rely on them games for their program.
Oh, we need to go see a UL game because we can get some tickets. This Lucas was telling me that.
We would appreciate that. Okay. Now, enough with college. Let's go into the glory sport, as we like to call it, the NFL. We're going to go right into the regular season. I said last week, I'm not talking about preseason. We do want to say one thing. Tim Tebow, we wish you well in your future endeavors.
I hated that, Lane. No, I did. And he didn't look bad. I seen some highlights Thursday night.
He looked terrible in the preseason, the whole preseason.
Well, the Thursday night game, they said that was going to make him or break him.
But he still threw a pick in that game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but you looked at his stats.
Yeah,
he went like
11
for 30.
Why did we want Tebow to make it so bad?
I have enough. I'm Tebowed out. I used to be on his side, and I used to love watching him, but after I'm done. I'm Tebowed out. I've done had too much of him.
Lane, did you say something about he's going to wrestle?
There was a rumor during the summer. I don't know how true it is that the WWE was interested in him.
They would love that.
I wouldn't in a way. How? Okay, here's my problem with if he would be in the wrestling. He's too good of a nice guy. When is he going to be able to bring the wrestling? He ain't going to be able to be a bad guy. You know?
The wrestling can make you bad, though.
Yeah, but he's Tebow. He ain't going to want to do it.
Oh,
he's not
for the money?
You think? Oh, I don't know. He's never sold his soul before for money.
No, but he got to make a living.
Nah, his family's got money. His daddy's got money.
Yeah.
Okay. Right off the bat, let's get right into the NFL. And as I do that, we got to do it. Yeah, we got to do it. Let's get the music queued up, guys.
I can't wait for the NFL to start.
We start Thursday night, and we start off with a barn burner of a schedule. As very disappointed. I can't turn it up loud because it'll come onto the mic. But very disappointing. Every year, we usually open up in the city of the Super Bowl champ. Every year.
Yep.
The Thursday night. But guess what? The Ravens had play in the same stadium as the Baltimore Oilers, and the Oilers didn't want to give up the stadium for that night.
Really?
So guess what? The Ravens have to go to the Broncos. The tradition was broken. The Ravens will get to play in the opening game, but they get to go to the Broncos, a place where that was the Broncos' last game, if we remember right. Remember when they lost that playoff game? That's right. A game they shouldn't have lost against the Ravens. Yeah, I don't drink. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. We joke. Which I do drink, but Ravens, Broncos, Dad. Let's do some pick 'em.
Broncos.
I think so too. Ravens lost a lot. I'll go with the Broncos. I'm letting you pick too. You going first on the picks. All right. Now we continue on Sunday. I know. We got like 15 minutes. Which, depending on what's going on with the draft and all, we might shut it down. Pats Bills, Dad. Patriots go into the Bills, Dad. The Bills are having some quarterback problems. They gotta start Jeff Toole. That just goes to show you. They're starting a guy named Jeff Toole.
They said this week, who is Jeff Toole? Because they had to start. No,
he broke history. He's like the first ever unsigned guy to start.
That's what they said. Who is Jeff Toole? Come to find out the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets to play. But they did say that. Who's Jeff Toole? Yeah. But,
good job.
And everybody starts saying, well, you know the comments. We wish him well. You never know.
Which, by the way, let me go back. I'm going to do the point spreads in this. Denver is favored by 10 in that Broncos versus Ravens game. That's going to be a tough spread to cover. But Broncos, we both said the Broncos. Pats, Bills, that the Patriots are favored by 11. You like the Patriots now, but not to cover the spread, but which they might cover that. Which that spread will probably move close to the half or the kickoff. Here's a good one. Oh, this is a huge one at 12. Bears and Bengals, Dad. Chicago favored by 3 in this one.
Really?
It's going to be a good game. Who you like now?
I have to go with those Cincinnati men.
I want to go with the Bengals, and I'm a huge Bengal. I've been backing the Bengals, man. But in Chicago, I'll go against you. I'm going to go with the Bears. Dolphins, Brown. Now, hold on. Let's back it up. Because we're going to hold the Saints game for last. But Bears, they've been flying underneath the radar. Bengals, they're not. Bengals ain't flying underneath the radar.
No,
with
Hard Knocks.
Yeah, they're not flying underneath the radar. But I've liked what I've seen. But I liked what I've seen out of the Bengals. But they're starting to I don't know, like they're starting to become unfocused. Maybe the Hard Knocks is getting to them.
That's a lot of coverage, yeah.
The camera's always in your locker.
I
They're always
would
in your
like
face.
that.
That's why a lot of teams decline doing it. A lot of teams have. Patriots have. Jets have.
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh yeah, that'd be. I'd love it though. I'd love to see
I
it.
know that.
But I picked the Bears to win the division. But this is gonna be a barn burner. But I'll go against you. I'll go Bears.
I
Bengals.
really ain't watched the Bears. I didn't get to see a preseason game. I ain't got to see
Yeah,
nothing.
it's not nothing
Now, the
new.
Bengals I watched the other night.
You know, they got Matt Forte
Yeah.
and things like that. They're gonna run the ball pretty well. Which, wink, wink. I wouldn't mind having him on my fantasy team. Dolphins, Browns. Ugh. Even line, meaning whoever you just bet it. You just pick a team. Even money. You just pick a team.
I'd go with the old Dolphins. Nah, I'm going to Browns. I would like to go for the I'll go for the Browns.
At home, yeah, I'll agree with you. I'll go with the Browns. Here's a slobber knocker.
What was
I
that?
don't know. I don't know where that came from. Vikings, Lions in Detroit. Detroit by 4.5. They're favored in this one.
I'd go with the Lions.
You going with Detroit?
Yeah.
Wow, by 4.5. I'm gonna go with AP in the Minnesota Vikings. Just the Vikings had the success that they brought last year. They kind of got hot at the right time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be kind of close.
Like I said, I can't wait for this Sunday to see what the teams.
We
what
can
they
finally
got.
watch some football.
See what
yeah.
they got.
The
damn preseason, man, aggravates me to no end.
I hate it.
Oh, man, you can't see nothing.
I hate it. It's okay like week 1, but then once you watch it for like a game, it's like I don't want no more.
Oh, the Saints lost Thursday night. I'm like, what?
They don't know.
Difference.
They don't know any different.
No, I'm like, who even pays attention? Y'all talk to me after Sunday.
Raiders, Colts. Dad, Colts had a big season last year. They're favored by 10 at home.
Colts.
I agree, Colts. We're gonna hold this on the next
Yeah.
one. We're gonna hold that one back. Y'all know we're talking about Saints and Falcons.
Yeah, one I can't wait.
Jets, Bucks. Geno Smith will be starting because Mrs. Sanchez is hurt. He's hurt. In New York, Buccaneers. They're favored by 3. Who do you like?
Oh, not that I like. I want the Jets. I don't want the Bucks. But remember, that's in our division.
Yeah, but if you have to pick a team.
I would have to go. Man, the Jets got some problems here right now.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna go Bucks. Even though I don't want to see it, I'm gonna go Bucks. Oh,
Yeah, we don't want to see that.
Yeah, Titans Steelers, an interesting game. Pittsburgh by 7.5 at home.
Oh yeah. Rothberg's gonna take a beat.
Yeah, man, he's gonna take a hell of a beat.
He's gonna take a beat.
Titans, we'll see what they can do this year. Maybe if they can make some improvements. A lot of stuff has been talked about. It's Chris Johnson. The big story with the Steelers is the running game. They're gonna be swapping running backs a lot. They're favored by 7.5. Here's gonna be another good one at 12. Dad, Seattle goes into Carolina. Seattle by 3. Cam Newton versus Russell Wilson.
I know it. That's gonna be a good game. I want Seahawks again.
Yeah,
The fan too. We don't want that. Like that's gonna be a game. Is that a 12 o'clock game?
Yeah, during the Saints game. That's what's bad.
That's gonna be a good game.
Who do you like?
Seahawks.
I'm gonna go with Carolina. At home, they're gonna make Carolina and Cam Newton.
Oh, okay. So don't look at the division or whatever.
Just pick whoever you think.
Just pick the.
As an analyst, as a Cajun Sports Radio analyst.
Going in. Oh yeah.
I thought you were gonna go with Seattle.
I want Seattle.
Okay, I'm gonna go Carolina.
Yeah, I do want Seattle.
Okay.
Cam Newton.
Okay, let me get the other music.
They say he's serious, boy. He said he's turning a new leaf this year.
Okay.
He is a good quarterback.
Very good. And
He is.
He's shown a lot of maturity too, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Okay, the last of our 12 o'clock games. Chiefs, Jags. Dad, you called this Chiefs team as the AFC West champs.
I got demolished.
You gotta
by somebody
back
the
them.
other day when I seen that.
But who?
They was
I
laughing
think
at
that they're gonna be good.
Oh, the Chiefs was gonna be real good.
They had 7 Pro Bowlers, man, with that win. I mean, and with 2 wins last year.
And you got Alex Smith driving the bus.
You got Andy Reid too.
And you got Andy Reid. Yo, Andy Reid's
Really
gonna
good.
make some noise right there.
They got a good defense with Eric Berry and crew.
Jeez. Oh, God, yeah.
Kansas City by 3.5 in that one.
Oh, easy.
Now we start the 3 o'clock games. Now we only have 2 3 o'clock games.
Why?
First week. First one. Now you always have a big 3 o'clock game. The first one, Cardinals Rams. Interesting. Honey Badger making his first day. The Rams by 4.5, Dad.
No.
Who do you like?
Cardinals.
Cardinals going into St. Louis?
Yep.
I didn't pick my other one. Chiefs on that other one. I'm going to say the Rams at home.
You didn't write it all down. You're going to remember next week what we picked.
Yeah. Well, we could talk smack. Now, like I said, every week we always have a big 3 o'clock game, 3:25 game. And this will be the game that everybody will be able to see. Packers at 49ers.
That's going to be a good game.
The NFC champs favored by 4.5, Dad. Who do you like?
49ers.
49ers? Oh. Green. Now, we had this game last year. Mm-hmm. First week of the season. Or was it the Giants that came in? It was the Giants. It might have been I don't know. I mean, it was the 49ers had a big week 1 game.
Yo, 49ers is going to be good, y'all.
I'm going with Green Bay.
Okay. 49ers is going to be good, man.
Sunday. Yeah. I think they're going to be good, but how about Green Bay? What?
They've been flying low. Again, I ain't got to see them. I can't wait because, y'all, the Packers been flying low.
Oh, and another reason why, I'm going to tell you another reason why we only have 2 3 o'clock games. All right. Sunday night football. That's my favorite game of the week. You know that. I love Sunday night football. NBC.
That's a huge one.
Giants, Cowboys. Huge. Wow. Dallas by 3. Sunday night football.
Are they playing in Cowboy Stadium?
In Dallas.
Cool. And to know they got that game last night and tonight. Double dipping, ball.
They're going to hit it.
Lane.
No, not tonight. Next Sunday.
No, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yo, that's what I meant. I tell you what. I'm going with the Giants.
Wow. In Dallas. I'm going to tell you what.
I'm going with the Giants.
I'm staying with my pick. Big D. They're going to win the division this year. Cowboys, they get the win.
Really? I'm going with the Giants. I'm just going to go opposite.
They're favored by 3. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about. There's 2 Monday night games. We always open the season up like this. Yeah, every year. We always have 2 Monday night games week 1. Every year. This has been going on for years. That's why we only have 2 3 o'clock games. The first one is going to probably be one of the most watched games ESPN has ever had. The return of RG3 and the Washington Redskins versus the Eagles. Dad, Washington by 3. Michael Vick versus RG3.
That's going to be a game.
That's going to be a barn. Now, it starts early. It starts at 6 because we have 2
But that's good. That's what they did last year.
We have 2.
Because you got to have that next game. I'm going with RG3. I want to see. He's coming off that ACL injury, and he's going to take a beat. But
oh, man. I got to go with the Eagles. Michael Vick's going to make some noise. Him and Chip Kelly, they leave being the hot team. I can't wait for that game. Next Monday night. Now, this is what closes the season out. This is going to be a good one, too.
You get back, it's 6 o'clock.
I'll probably miss some of it. I'll record it. Don't worry. You already got me worried about it.
See what I mean, y'all? That's why I said it. That's all he wants to do.
Texans Chargers, Dad. 9:15. Chargers they've been kind of slow in the preseason.
There. I want to see what he's all about, Daisy. I tell you what.
Houston by 3.5, by the way, is the spread. You go Houston?
I go Houston. They play where? At Chargers?
Well, they had to put it in San Diego. You know why? It's a late game. It's West Coast. West Coast is 2 hours early. They were double dipping, like you said. Yeah. Now, y'all know what we're going to. Falcons, Saints. Saints. If you had to guess, what's the spread in this game?
Oh, yeah. That's why you cover the computer.
If you had to guess?
Let's see, man.
What's the point spread in this game? Saints, Falcons.
3.
Who?
Saints. And I didn't even look at it, y'all.
Yes, that's what it is.
I
Saints
guessed
by
that
3.
he covered the screen.
Nice. Yeah, Saints by 3.
Because he's home.
Oh, you didn't see. Really?
But no, if someone could know, I never looked at. That was a good lucky guess.
That was awesome.
Yeah, but you remember last year, the first game we played the Saints, the spread?
You mean it's always 3 is a big NFL. It was
always
Washington, wasn't it?
No, I'm talking about the Saints.
Oh, when we played
the first game was 3.
What are you seeing in this one, Dad? I'm giving you the big Saints fan. I'm giving you the mic.
Yo, it's gonna be a tough game. 2 damn good teams. I don't like this first game playing division. I don't like this. However, what saved us? We're playing home. That makes a big. You don't want to go to the first game to the Dome in Atlanta. That's y'all both teams very big rivals. Y'all remember last year they were 7-0. We went in there. We wasn't good last year. We beat them, but they came home. Then we went over there, they return the favor bad. I see Drew and Pierre Thomas, Colston's back. Everybody looks like they pretty. Who's that guy, Lane? Will Smith's out for the year. We got a guy from
We
San
got a
Francisco.
linebacker from San Francisco. I can't think of his name,
Yeah,
but he's pretty solid.
We had to give up a 6th round draft pick. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for the Saints to take care of it. Y'all, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be a tough game. Very, very tough game for the first game of the season to me. It's going to be a good game. Talked to a couple of people. They leaving Friday.
Project. I know you don't like doing this. You remember last year when I tried to make you do this, you didn't like doing it. Project the score. You hate doing this. Last year I tried to make you do this. You hated it.
I would say it's going to be a high-scoring game.
You think it'd be a shootout?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want
with
that.
Ryan and I know, but it always is.
Yeah, I know.
I'd say in the 30s, Lane.
37 to 30 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
So do the Saints cover the spread at 3?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and look. I'm going to go out on a limb. This will be one of the best games of the week, overtime.
Probably
in the
so.
Big Easy.
Yeah.
Overtime in the Big
No,
Easy. And it's going to be a push. Saints win by field goal. It's going to be a push.
Good call, Lane, because
I never bet on the Saints. It's too. I don't want to worry about the score.
We don't do that.
I don't ever bet on the Saints, but
It's going to be a tough game because look, if you could pull up the schedule real quick after the Atlanta game, y'all, we have room for no mistakes because it's back-to-back hard games, y'all. And like Lane said earlier of the year, about a month ago, whatever, you don't want to start the season at 0-3 like last year before. Man, we got to look at this.
okay, now
This is a tough game here.
here it is.
Look at that.
We play Falcons. Then we got to play. We got to go to Tampa Bay.
2 back-to-back.
Then the Cardinals, your boy, Honey Badger. Then we got the Monday Nighter against the Dolphins.
That's what I'm saying.
Now here's where it starts. We talked about this in the offseason.
Yeah.
At Chicago, at New England, bye week.
That's what I'm saying.
Bills,
That's
at
why you got to
Jets.
take care of business right here. There's
Yeah, we
room
can't-
for no mistakes.
We can't afford a slow start like we had last year.
That's what I just said. Last year was like, what, 0-4? I know
Something
we
like
don't
that.
want to talk about last year because it was a debacle. it was miserable.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking for Drew to light it up. And again, we need a lot of work on defense. What I've seen for preseason, we got a long way to go. Long way to go.
And that was, you didn't realize it, Dad, but that was Coyote's Word of the Day. That's our new segment for him. Coyote's new segment. Coyote's Word of the Day.
Yeah,
we
have a lot of work to do.
And I will say this, I'm going to put over Dad real quick. Dad got me. I wouldn't be the football fan that I am now. I wouldn't know what I know if it wouldn't be for Dad because he got me watching football. I remember the Saints winning 3 games a year, me being little and him every Sunday. Us getting together and watching the game, and we've been around this team since I can understand the game. I've been a Saints fan, and Dad has stuck with them. And if there's anybody, and everybody knows that around here, if there's anybody who's a big Saints fan, it's Dad, and so he can, he can tell you what you want to know about the Saints.
We just got a tough season, and I actually think that we're gonna do good. The defense can't go no worse than what we did last year. So looks like Ryan, defensive coordinator, for preseason. What I've seen, y'all, I've seen some bad. I've seen some bad and some good. But again, y'all, we got our coach back driving the bus. That's a big deal right there. Sean Payton is ready to go with it. He's ready to take
he's going
off
to be
with
jacked. And, of course, we got Ryan.
Yeah.
We got Robbie.
And like I just said, I know I always talk about money because the coaches. Yo, we got a coach that's getting paid the highest in the NFL. Mm. You know that. That make a big difference.
And we got a high-paid quarterback, too.
And we got a high-paid quarterback, so...
Who, by the way, was on almost every commercial that took place during the games. He is now the new Wrangler, man.
Yeah. So we got some high expectations. Like I said, this year is the year to show you what these salaries are about.
This is
get off the money deal. But this is the year, right?
This is the year. We're running into overtime, but this is the year. This is the year where you say, because the problem is after last year, if you have another year without the playoffs, where's the momentum at?
That's right.
You know, I'm not saying we have to win a division, but from what I've seen, I know it's preseason. We have the team to win the division. What scares me is the schedule. And I've said that in off season. It's when it happens and how it happens.
Yep.
At Chicago,
Football.
that's it. You're exactly right. There's no excuses. Guys, this has been another great episode and production of Cajun Sports Radio. We really do appreciate y'all,
Thank y'all
every week listening. If y'all listening on replay, if y'all listening live, whatever, we appreciate y'all supporting us. This episode was presented by BestBikeATV.com and, of course, DirecTV. Go check out DirecTV and get the Sunday ticket free the first year, as well as $100 off the first year when you let us know at CajunSportsRadio.com. Guys,
Thank y'all.
time check here. I'm glad. 6:30 next week. We got the NFL game. Everything's gonna be quick next week. As soon as the big late game is over with between San Francisco and Green Bay, we kick it off. We roll until the start of Sunday Night Football. So it's gonna be
So what time you saying
6:30. I'm not doing the show during football. 6:30 to 7:30.
It will be falling right into Sunday night.
And sometimes we might only be going 45 minutes. We'll start right when the big late. Come to us when the big, because I know y'all aren't going to be listening while that game's still going on. When the big late game's over with, we'll kick off Sunday night. We'll kick off the show. Like I said, there might be some weeks we'll only go 30 minutes. There might be some weeks where we only go 45. There might be some weeks where we go an hour and 15 minutes. Whenever the big late games are over with, that's when we'll start the show. So that's how our schedule's going to be done. I will update y'all on Facebook on when the show time will start. We're going to have to do that. That way none of us miss football.
Oh, I ain't gonna miss it.
Well, what's the point of me doing a football show if I'm gonna miss football? To do it, guys. We got through the preseason. Hey, it was a quick preseason. Good. We got through July. We got through all of that.
Okay.
I know that's coming up. That's coming up. They got to get it down to 53.
They gotta get it down to 53.
So that's gonna be fun to watch, guys. We got a fantasy draft to do. I'm excited for that. Have a great week and enjoy your Labor Day.
Thank y'all.
Smell the gumbo. You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.